back. Today we are going to start our first writing lesson. We're not going to write writing because I know this is the big fear that you all are afraid of. So today we're going only to start with a very light lesson, which is the punctuation rules. Okay, this is the most important part in the writing, where you have to pay a good attention to it so you can improve your writing. Okay, what are the punctuation marks that we're going to learn in this lesson? They are very short and they are very nice, and you'll all get used to it since you were in Junior 2 and Junior 3. The first one is going to be the capital letters. Number 2, we're going to talk about the commas, the question mark, the exclamation mark, the apostrophe, the quotation marks, and the full stop. Okay, I know this will seem a bit easy for you, but you have to pay good attention because most of you can make a lot of mistakes if you don't pay attention to them during your writing. We're going to watch a very small video, okay, and then we are going to explain each mark in detail. Okay, let's see the video together.
Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about punctuation. Punctuation is the name for specific kinds of marks used in writing. When you are speaking, you can use pauses or stops and change your tone of voice to help the listener understand. When you are writing, you can use punctuation to do the same thing. Punctuation can help us when we read to understand what is written correctly. Let's learn about some of the more common types of punctuation. First, let's talk about periods.
I will pause here because I want only to explain for you. Period, this is the full stop. Okay, we can say full stop or we can say period. Okay, the same. That's complete.
A period is a dot that marks the end of a sentence. Periods are the most common way to end a sentence because they are used to end any sentence that isn't a question or an exclamation. An exclamation will end with an exclamation point. Exclamation points are used to show strong feelings, like excitement, or show that something is being said loudly. Question marks are easy to understand. They belong at the end of questions. Anytime you have a question, you end it with a question mark. Got it? Commas can be used in many places. They are used to indicate a pause. Let's see some of the places a comma should be used. Commas should be used to separate 3 or more items in a list. They are also used to separate compound sentences, 2 complete sentences connected by a conjunction like and, but, and or. Commas are used after introductory words, clauses, or phrases to set them apart from the main sentence. You should also use commas to separate the name of a city from its country or state, and to set apart the day of the week or month when writing a date. Finally, commas are used to separate quotations from the rest of a sentence. A quotation is something that someone else has said or written. Quotation marks are used at the beginning and end of a sentence or phrase to show that it is being written exactly the way it was written or said originally. The last punctuation mark we are going to talk about today is the apostrophe. Apostrophes can be used in a contraction to show that there are missing letters. Apostrophes are also used to show possession, or that something belongs to someone. There are still more types of punctuation to learn about, but I hope this helped you to understand how to use basic punctuation marks. Goodbye till next time!
Okay, did you like the video? I want you to watch it again, and I want you to pause and read the examples that are found inside the video, okay? So you can understand more about the punctuation marks. I will also give you now more examples, but first of all, I want you to look at the first part in the punctuation, which is the Yes, excellent. Capital letters. Okay, this is the most important one. Okay, and I have here Captain Capital. Okay, this is our dear friend. And Captain Capital here is going to tell you what are the things that you should capitalize in a sentence. What are the things that you should make it capital inside the sentence? I have number one, letter I. Whenever I say I, whether I came at the beginning of the sentence, in the middle of the sentence, anywhere, you should make it capital, I. And usually I can say I at the beginning, or if I say my family and I, my friends and I. So anywhere in the sentence you see I, you start to make it capital. Beginning of a sentence or the beginning of a question, any word that comes at the beginning of the sentence, you should make it a capital letter. Okay, what else? Names of people, names of places, and the very famous holidays like Christmas and Easter. We have to start it with a capital letter. What else? Month of the year, January, February, March, all of those should be capitalized. Days of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all of the days of the week. The names of books, or even the title of your writing. You should make, if for example, if I'm saying The Amazing Spider-Man, so I have to start the capital T, Amazing, capital A, Spider-Man's capital S. So your title, even for your writing, should be capitalized. Each word is capitalized. Okay, the names of books, of course, they are capitalized. And what else I make it capital? I have also the subjects, like when I say Arabic, English, French, all the subjects should be capitalized. And the names of places, as I told you, restaurants like McDonald's or Hardee's or Nike, all of those should start with a capital letter. Okay, so I think capital letters are a bit easy. Okay, let's see another part in the punctuation marks. Those are the rest of the punctuation marks. I have the question mark. Okay, and of course you use it in a question, and we're going to have examples shortly. So you use it at the end of a sentence to show that this is a question. Okay, this is for the question mark. Number two, you have the apostrophe. I use the apostrophe in two cases. I can use it for possession, means I am talking about something that belongs to me or to someone, like when I say Mary's bag, or I say John's ball, or I say Julie's pencil case. Okay, so I put the apostrophe S to show possession. Okay, so I use the apostrophe in this case. Another case, I use the apostrophe when I'm making a contraction. What's the meaning of a contraction? For example, when I say I have, I will show you how to do it. For example, if I have this and I wrote I, let it be a bigger font so you can all see. So for example, when I say I have, this is the same. If I want to make it into a contraction form, I will say what? I, and then apostrophe VE. So this is the contraction form. So once I make a contraction, I take out or I cross some letters and I make a contraction form, I will use the apostrophe. The same, for example, when I say do not, I can also make it a contraction and I can say don't. Okay, so the apostrophe, I use it in contraction forms, and I use it also in the possessive form. Like I told you, when I say Mary's bag, the apostrophe S here, this is also the apostrophe. Okay, so now when you question mark, apostrophe. The third one is the exclamation mark. And when do I use the exclamation mark? I use it to show strong feeling, whether it's happiness, it's anger, it's surprise. Okay, so when I am showing strong feeling in a sentence, I will use the exclamation mark. Sometimes you can find words that are very obvious to show your emotions, like here when I say wow, or when I say oh, or stop, or hooray, or help, or ouch. So those are strong words to show the feelings. Whenever you see any one of them at the beginning of the sentence, I will put the exclamation mark right after. Okay? What else do I have? I have the commas. Commas, we use it mostly in all our writing. I can use the commas in a listing form. What's the meaning of listing? For example, when I say, I love to eat chicken, comma, pasta, comma, salad, comma, and fish. So I have listing. I have 4 things, so I keep putting commas between all the words until I reach before the last one. I'll put and. Okay? So this is the first usage of the comma, where you can use it with the listing. Another thing, when I use it when you write your date, I write Wednesday, comma, 15th of December, comma, 2020, for example. So I use it to separate the date between the day and the month, and between the month and the year. Where else I can use it? I can use it to separate cities and countries. When I say I live in Alexandria, Egypt, so I will write Alexandria, comma, Egypt. And of course, Alexandria and Egypt are capital letters. So this is another way. So I use it in the date. I use it with the cities and the countries. I use it with the listing when I'm talking about many things and I'm doing like a list. I use it when I have quotations. Do you remember the quotation marks that we are going to talk about later? The quotation marks, when you have asked Ben or said Julie or whatever, you have to put a comma before this. Okay? Of course, if the sentence between the quotation is not a question or an exclamation mark. If it's we're going to say, if it's a question, you're going to end the quotation before you close the quotation. You're going to put a question mark. Or if it's an exclamation, you're going to put an exclamation mark and close the quotation. If it's not any of those, not a question mark or a quotation or an exclamation mark, you're going to put a comma and then close the quotation. Okay? So here also I can use the comma. When else do I use the comma? When I'm talking politely. Can you lend me your pencil, please? So when I say the word please at the end of the sentence, I have to put a comma before please. Okay? Because this is a polite request. The last one that I have, the quotation marks, as I said, this is, I put it, if someone is talking, I put it around the actual words that this person said. For example, if he said, Mom said, tidy up your room. So I will say, Mom said, this is not the actual words. What are the actual words? Tidy up your room. So this is the part of the sentence where I'm going to put the quotation. And of course, inside the quotation, the first letter inside the quotation should be capital letter. Okay? The last one in the punctuation marks is the full stop. Or we call it a period. The two are the same. Where do I put the full stop? At the end of the sentence, to show that this sentence ended, and the sentence that's going to come after, it's going to start with a capital letter. Okay? So those are mostly all the punctuation marks. Let's look at our booklet here and read some examples. So here we have the capital letters. And of course, like I told you, names, proper nouns, like Tom, Paris, Friday, April, titles of books, films, name of films, or as I told you, the name of the title of your writing, the subjects, English, Arabic, French. Okay, here the commas, like when you have Mary, listen to me. So this is like a part of a sentence, and then I will complete the sentence. So Mary, listen to me, I will put a comma. If I have listing, please buy eggs, milk, butter, and flour. So I am having a lot of things like a list. So I keep putting commas, and before the last one, I will put and. This is for the listing. As I told you, you can have it with the cities and the countries, and we're going to see examples in the questions. The question mark at the end of the question, where did you go yesterday? Or what time is it? The exclamation marks, this is, as I told you, to show anger, surprise, anger, or joy. Joy means happiness. Or shock, if you're shocked. Watch out for that tree, or what an adventure. Okay, you can, as I told you, you can have stop or hooray or wow or whatever. All of those will also be followed with an exclamation mark. The apostrophe, this is the possession, where you have Mike's house. Or if I have a contraction form like I'll, I will, this is the contraction for I will. Okay, and I will put the apostrophe here, or I can put the apostrophe S in the possession. Okay, the quotation marks, like I told you, this is, I put it around the actual words that a person said. So don't shout, the baby is crying, said mom. Okay, and I put here a comma at the end of the sentence inside the quotation, and I started the first letter in the quotation with a capital letter. And this is very important. And then I said mom, and I will end my sentence all with a full stop. The full stop, this is the easiest one that you know, that you put it at the end of a sentence. What are other cases where I use the full stop? I can use it to have a short form for the names. Okay, for I say K Brown. Okay, K is a short for another name, so I K dot Brown. Okay, Mark is playing tennis. This is a normal sentence where I put full stop to end the sentence. Or I can use it for abbreviations of something that you already know, like CD, TV, KFC. Okay, all of those I use the dot to separate. So CD, I will put C dot D. KFC, this is Kentucky. So you will put capital letters and between them dots to show that this is an abbreviated form. Let's look at some examples. I'm not going to take all, of course. Sorry. You will have these questions you are going to answer, and you are going to find the model answer on the site. For example, let's see number 2. This is a typing mistake. This is France and Italy. So if you see it, there should be a space here. Okay? So France and Italy. Of course, this is listing. And if you have listing, I'll put comma here. So France, Italy, and Germany. And because those are names of countries, I will have to make all of them capital letters. Okay? And I will put a full stop at the end of a sentence. For example, here you have hooray. So this is something that shows strong feelings. So you have to do what? You have to put an exclamation mark after the hooray. Okay, here this is the sentence where you have please. Can you give me a pencil, please? So you have to put a comma before please. Okay, and then you already have asked John, so you will put quotation marks starting from can and close it after please. Okay, you will answer the rest. I want you to look here. Let's answer this text together because this could be a bit tricky. So what am I going to do is that here he said to punctuate this text. So let's try together. Shakespeare is the most famous English writer in history. He went to school in Starford, England. He moved to London to become an actor. Then he started to write plays. One of his best plays is Hamlet. Okay, let's start to put punctuation marks so we can have an improved way of writing. Okay, so let's correct this text. He started Shakespeare. Shakespeare, this is a name of a person, and this is at the beginning of the sentence. So, of course, we are going to start it with a capital letter. So I will make Shakespeare is the most famous English writer. This is his nationality. He's an English writer. He's from England. So English writer, the nationality should be a capital letter too. So I will cross the small e and I'll make it capital E. Is the most famous English writer in history. He went to school. So this is a new sentence. So after in history, I have to end my sentence. So I'm going to put a full stop. And after the full stop, of course, when you start a new sentence, you have to start with a capital letter again. So he went to school in Starford, England. Starford, England, this is the city and the country. Whenever I have city or a country name, I have to change the first letter to be capital letter. All cities and countries' names are capitalized. So Starford, England. Also, England is going to start with a capital E. If there wasn't here a comma between Starford, England, you should put it. But we already have it here. Between the cities and the country, between the name of a city and the name of a country, I have to separate with a comma. So, he went to school in Starford, England. He moved to London. So, this is also a new sentence. I will stop here with a full stop. And I will start the word after with a capital letter. So, he moved to London. What about London? Again, this is the name of a city. So, I will start capital L. He moved to London to become an actor. Then he started to write plays. This sentence is divided into two parts with a linking word in between. So, he moved to London to become an actor, then he started to write plays. So, before the linking word here, okay, I will put a comma. Okay, then he started to write plays. One of his best plays. So, this is a new sentence. Write plays. I will come here and put a full stop. The word plays here, it doesn't mean play something that you play with. No, it's the play that you acted on a theater. Like a story, but you don't read it in a book. No, they make it a play and they get actors on a theater and they act out the story so it becomes a play. Okay? And then after the full stop, you'll start with a capital O. One of his best plays is Hamlet. This is the name of the play. So it should start with a capital letter 2. So I will change capital H, Hamlet, and in the end I'm going to end my text with a full stop. I think this is easy now, okay? That was it for the part 4, the punctuation. I hope you like it and I hope that you understand it all. Bye bye.